Swole Benji here, and today's discussion is about, are dungeons worth farming now? For those that don't know, dungeons have been changed, and what happened is they decided to buff dungeon drops. If you see this little dungeon here, you'll notice there's some like purple butterfly pixie fairies just kind of coming out of it, right? I'm not going to make a joke about that, but essentially what that means is that this dungeon has stronger mobs inside of it, and the loot that you will get is much higher. Now, before I go into this dungeon and explain that, let me just say that the color scheme for the butterflies determines how rare it is, okay? If it's green butterflies, that's only a slight increase, then blue, then purple, then golden, which is the highest. So if you ride by a dungeon and you see golden butterflies, that means it is the strongest it can be. That is an 84% increase in monster difficulty, and your overall drops with premium is 50% plus 335% for a yellow zone. I don't know the total numbers for the other zones, but I know that just a baseline yellow zone used to be 30%. So you would have 80% drop rate increase in the old system, but now it is 50 plus 335. So that's 385% increased drops, okay? Now, a lot of people have said that SBI nerfed dungeons, that they don't drop as much loot anymore, and if you look at my old videos, you can see the kind of loot you can get in a Tier 5 Yellow Zone dungeon. However, SBI didn't, well, at least not on paper, they didn't nerf dungeon loot. What happened was, people that ran bots and that ran big conglomerates of black market like scripts and black market discords, because all the loot you get from these dungeons are from the black market, what they would do is they would have entire teams of mammoths ride into Caerleon and offload tons and tons of loot into the black markets. The black markets did get nerfed at some point last year, and then the people running these black market like bots and scripts, they were RMTers, you know, selling money. They all got banned. Not all of them, but a lot of them did get banned. And a lot of people quit the game. So there's not as many people running entire mammoths full of inventories just to Caerleon all day 24/7, loading up the black market for everyone to loot. And because they introduced Avalonian dungeons and corrupted dungeons, those soaked up a lot of loot that got distributed to other players. So because there's more loot, you know, being shot out to people, and there's less people contributing to the loot in the black market, that means that you're going to have less overall drops. So with SBI increasing the drop rate in these dungeons, it doesn't really help much if there's not a lot of people offloading loot to the black market, alright? So with that said, the drop rate in a Tier 8 Avalonian dungeon is 750%. But if you get 380% in a Tier 5 Yellow Zone, that's like a little less than half, maybe half-ish. So you do 2 dungeons, it's like doing 1 dungeon in the Avalonian Zone, which is the rarest in the game. But I want to show you real quick that why it's still not worth doing. It's still absolutely not worth doing to advance your character and to get money, okay? You should still farm mobs in the open world. So let's just kill these mobs real quick, okay? So we're gonna kill these 2 mobs. They're not even boss mobs, and that gave us 6,012. That's like 13,000. Also, silver pickup is automatic now. It's nice. So that was 2 mobs. That was like 13,000 fame and 3,000 silver. Also, we got some loot, which that loot sucked, but hey, it's whatever. So now that we're in the dungeon, I just wanted to point out that when you click on a mob, you're going to see a sword icon under them to designate that they are stronger. So see this little sword buff icon? When I highlight it, it says enemies are 58% stronger. Okay, this can go to 80-something with the golden butterflies, but I didn't find any before filming. Alright, so let's go ahead and kill these mobs. They're just little trash mobs. They only give 160 fame. It's not a lot. Let's go ahead and kill these mobs over here. I'm just going to stand in this lightning and nearly die. So these guys gave me 600. Okay, we got red buff. Nice. Red buff's cool. Gotta respect the red buff. Because we're gonna smash through these mobs. 1,300 for a normal-sized trash mob. Okay, the ones that actually give the Gucci experience right here. This one, 1,281, only 200 silver. Let's go ahead and kill these big ones here. 600 for the little baby girls, and 1,200 for the big knife-throwing mamas. I don't know what to call them. And I'm not using a very optimal build here, but you get the point, right? This is not an optimal build for dungeons. It's okay. It's not the best. I just happen to have it on before filming, so I figured why not, right? Now, whenever I get to a boss chest, I'm not going to run the rest of the dungeon, but when I get to the boss chest, you will get significantly more loot than you would in the old world, right? But you're still getting paltry amounts of fame, and because I'm faction flagged, I'm getting faction points. You're barely getting faction points. It's not worth doing. But again, automatic silver pickup, that's nice. I didn't have to click that. I just ran over the top of it, just automatically vacuumed it up. Very cool quality of life change. Gotta give them props for that one. Anyway, oh, the dungeon's already gone. Yeah, that's a thing too. After 90 seconds, they go away. But yeah, just farming like this one boss, okay? This one boss is gonna give me over 100,000, okay? And this is just a tier 5 zone, okay? This is tier 5, okay? If I did this in the red zone or black zone, it'd be way more. Go ahead and shield so I get some mana back. Very simple. Kill the mobs. And just look at how much fame we're gonna get from these guys. Alright, so that was an ammo. 25k for the small guy, 100,000 for the big one. Okay, and then we got some loot. And we got some more loot, right? And you're like, I guarantee you, I maybe get this much loot in doing that entire dungeon, right? Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just want to let you guys know. Oh, before we go, what about group dungeons? Okay, that was a really big focus on my channel for a while, that soloing group dungeons was super worth it in the old game, okay? It is not anymore, and the group dungeons follow the same kind of hierarchy, right? If you find a group dungeon, it can have those multicolored butterflies as well, but, you know, this is kind of bad, because if you find a dungeon with the golden, like, group dungeon, in a tier 5 zone with those golden butterflies, it's not soloable at all. Those monsters will tear you apart limb from limb. It is super dangerous, and the fame is still not worth it. Like, you still get more fame just killing the mobs in the open world than you do the group dungeon, so there's no reason to do the group dungeon. And the treasure, again, yeah, you get more treasure, but it's not nerfed, it's there's less people doing black market shenanigans, okay? It's absolutely just don't waste your time. Like, here's some blue butterflies, right? And then what about static dungeons, okay? I've been messing around for the past couple of days with static dungeons. For those that don't know, go to the map and you go to like these little areas like smooth floor cleft. There's this building here that says Undead Dungeon. You can go in there, it's just a big dungeon. The mobs are pretty tough. They give okay fame. They're very tough though. Like, you need a specific build. Also, another thing too. If you see a dungeon with no butterflies, that means it's either a standard dungeon or it was a butterfly dungeon that someone has entered, okay? If another player enters a dungeon, the butterflies go away. So if you're a ganker like me and you want to go into a dungeon and follow someone in from behind, always go into the dungeons without butterflies in front of them. Guys, I'm Soul Benji, thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Farm those open world mobs, don't waste time in dungeons. Dungeons are old. It's an old system in the game. They're no longer really worth doing. Don't worry about it. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. If you want to financially support me, you can become a channel member. Link is, join button is right below this video. It's $5 a month. It super helps me out. And you get access to special, more cool videos. If I ever like find a dupe exploit or something like that, it will go there. It's not going to go to the public, okay? And I really appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like, leave a bunch of comments, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.